You know, people are often pretty surprised when I tell them how old I am. I'm 91 now. And honestly, I still get around just fine. I drive my own car, handle my own shopping, and my memory, sharp as ever. But what really seems to get folks is this: I haven't even had a sniffle in over 30 years. Seriously. No colds, nothing. And here's the kicker: I was never wealthy, didn't have fancy health plans, and my family tree wasn't exactly full of centenarians. My parents passed away young, and my siblings, well, let's just say they practically live at the pharmacy, taking handfuls of pills daily. But me, I'm still here, standing tall and feeling strong. And believe me, it's not some lucky roll of the dice. It's a choice. So many people think aging well, staying healthy in your later years, is just genetics, like you're either born lucky or you're doomed to a life of doctor's visits and pill boxes. But I figured something important out pretty early. Your body listens to what you do with it, day in and day out. Staying strong as you get older isn't about chasing internet fads, buying expensive supplements, or sticking to crazy diets. It's about paying attention to your body, respecting its rhythms, giving it the basics consistently, and the most crucial part, never stopping, not walking, not thinking, not living with a sense of purpose. Over the years, I've seen too many good people just fade away. Strong individuals who seemed to have everything it took to keep going, but they gradually lost their spark. And almost always, it boiled down to the same thing. Little bad habits piling up silently, almost without you noticing. They'd start sleeping poorly, pulling away from friends and family, stop moving their bodies, eat whatever was easiest, ignore their body's quiet signals, and time would just start collecting its toll. Bit by bit, memory by memory, step by step. I saw it happening around me, and I decided right then that I wouldn't let that be my story. I wasn't extreme, never obsessed with the gym, never a slave to strict diets. I still enjoy my simple pleasures, absolutely: a warm coffee with fresh bread in the morning, a good long chat with a friend in the evening, a little piece of candy now and then. But there are 5 simple habits I absolutely stuck with, day after day, year after year, and they honestly changed everything for me. Small things, yes, but repeated for decades, every single day, like a promise I made to myself that I wouldn't let my health slip away without putting up a good fight. And that's exactly what I want to share with you today. These 5 habits that keep me sharp, active, and full of life at 91. And honestly, it really doesn't matter if you're 40, 60, or 80 right now. The principles are the same, and the best part, none of these habits cost a dime, none require youth or a perfect, rigid schedule. One of them, maybe the most impactful one for me, came from a place I never expected. It's the 5th one I'll tell you about here, an ancient bit of wisdom I learned, surprisingly, from Buddhist monks. A simple teaching, but so incredibly powerful, it became the foundation for my mental peace, my emotional balance, and even my physical well-being. Trust me, once you hear what it is, it will completely shift how you look at and live your days. So, if you're serious about keeping your health and vitality as you age, if you want to feel strong and sharp for years to come, please give this video a like. It could truly be a turning point for you, just like these habits were for me. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you keep getting content that tells the truth, the stuff that actually works in real life. Also, I'm genuinely curious. Let me know in the comments what your biggest challenge is when it comes to aging healthily. Maybe I can offer a little insight, a quick tip, or just provide this example that yes, it is absolutely possible to reach 91 with the energy and strength to keep living fully. All right, let's dive into the first habit. This one I embraced early on, and it transformed my health in ways I never could have imagined. It's this: every single morning, right after I wake up, I make sure to expose myself to natural daylight. And no, this isn't about getting a tan or trying to look good. It's a simple ritual, a quiet connection to the day ahead, a simple yet incredibly powerful way of telling my body, okay, we're awake now. It's time to get going. Before I even think about making coffee or checking my phone, I open the door or step outside, find a spot where the sun hits, take a deep breath, and just let the light touch my face, my eyes, my skin. Just 10 minutes, that's all it takes, but it makes a world of difference for the rest of my day. What many people don't realize is that natural morning light is like a reset button for your whole system. It helps regulate your body's internal clock, what scientists call your circadian rhythm. This rhythm controls pretty much everything, from when you sleep and eat, to your energy levels, your mood, your ability to focus, and even how well your immune system works. And I can feel the difference so clearly. When I do this simple ritual, my body just functions better throughout the day. If I skip it, my mind feels sluggish, less sharp. The contrast is undeniable, truly. Honestly, the first time I experienced this effect wasn't even intentional. It was totally by chance. I was traveling and staying in a bright, open place where the sunlight just poured into the room in the morning. I woke up with the sun on my face and went for a walk before breakfast just because. That day felt so light, so productive, so easy asterisk. I remember thinking, wow, there's really something to this. When I got back home, I started doing it on purpose every morning. And the more I did it, the more my body responded positively. My mood became more stable, fewer ups and downs. I slept better at night. My appetite seemed more balanced throughout the day. And best of all, I felt more present, more clear-headed, more genuinely eager to start my day. Today, science actually confirms what I felt instinctively all those years ago. Morning sunlight helps lower those stress hormones like cortisol throughout the day, gives a nice boost to serotonin, that feel-good hormone, and gets your body ready to produce melatonin later, which only kicks in at night for good sleep. In simple terms, the light you get in the morning is literally setting you up for a good night's sleep later. How you start the day really does determine how it ends, and it's amazing how many people just ignore this simple truth. They stay indoors, in the dark, with the blue light of their phone right in their face first thing, and then they wonder why their day feels long and dragging, and their nights are restless. And the most beautiful part: this habit costs absolutely nothing and requires zero physical effort. Just the willingness to open a window, step outside onto your balcony or porch, look up at the sky for a bit, and breathe. Even on cloudy days, even in the winter when the sun isn't shining brightly, the natural light is still there. You just have to let it in. I've done this wrapped up in a heavy coat, with the wind in my face, holding a warm cup of tea. The fancy setting isn't what matters. What matters is sending that clear signal to your body that the day has begun and it's time to function at its best. Some people ask me if this replaces exercise, if it fixes all sleep problems, if it cures sadness. I always give the same honest answer. It replaces nothing else, but it makes everything better. It's the starting point. It's the anchor for your day. When you begin your day by telling your body, hey, we're doing this together, we're waking up, everything else seems to fall into place more easily. It's like your body says, okay, thanks, and gets organized, ready to give you its best for the day ahead. And for me, at 91, that feeling is absolutely priceless. So if you wake up feeling groggy, already scrolling on your phone, and generally grumpy about life before you even get out of bed, try this. Before you do anything else, go towards the light. Even if it's just your balcony, your backyard, or even just standing by a window looking outside. Just you, the morning, and your breath. The world might be chaotic, but that quiet moment is yours. And your body, I promise you, will remember and thank you for that gesture by the end of the day. If you're finding this interesting and want to try it, hit that like button so we know you're with us. Okay, moving on to the second habit I adopted and never let go of. This one is incredibly simple, starting my day with a cup of tea. Simple as that. A warm cup of tea, sipped slowly and calmly first thing in the morning, before anything else, before coffee, before checking the news, even before speaking to anyone. That quiet moment became my true awakening ritual, but it's not just about the drink itself, or even just its temperature. It's about what it represents. A gentle signal to my body that the day has started and we can ease into it, not rush headfirst into the chaos. For years, I used to wake up and immediately reach for strong black coffee. It felt necessary, bitter, urgent, like my body wouldn't function until I gave it that jolt. But as I got older, I noticed it made me feel anxious, jittery, and really upset my stomach. Then, I met a kind monk at a talk who spoke about the ritual of drinking tea in the morning. He said having tea early in the day warms your body from the inside, gently prepares your organs, gets your digestion going smoothly, and sends a calm message to your mind. He said, "Today isn't just another day passing by. It's another chance to live well." From that day on, I started making tea every morning. I've tried all sorts of kinds over the years. My favorite now is simple ginger with fresh mint and a squeeze of lemon. Sometimes I'll add a pinch of turmeric. Other days, I like chamomile with a little bit of clove. But honestly, the exact recipe really doesn't matter. It's the act itself that counts the most. The ritual, the sense of calm it brings. I sit down, hold the cup with both hands, inhale the warm steam, close my eyes for just a few seconds, and only then take that first slow sip. It might seem like such a small thing, but that single moment completely shifts how I feel internally, setting a calm tone for the whole day. And yes, there's good science behind this too. Warm tea helps gently warm up your digestive system, improves circulation throughout your body, assists your liver in clearing out toxins that built up overnight, rehydrates your body after hours without water, and depending on the herbs, delivers powerful antioxidants. I really noticed the results over time. My digestion became incredibly regular, like clockwork. My energy in the morning improved dramatically, no more needing that harsh jolt. That heavy, sluggish feeling I used to have right after waking up just vanished. Even more than that, this quiet tea time became an emotional anchor for me, a moment where I reconnect with myself before the day gets busy and demanding. While the rest of the world is waking up in a rush and heading straight into chaos, I start my day in silence, in presence. And for anyone who wants to age well, who wants peace and clarity, that is pure gold. Because how you begin your day truly shapes everything that follows. If you start in peace, with a body that feels gently awake and a mind that feels aligned, everything just flows better, feels less like a struggle. Today I never skip it. Even when I'm traveling, have guests staying over, or feel like I'm in a rush, my tea comes first. Not because I'm being fussy or stubborn, but out of deep respect for my body. It's the body that brought me here, standing strong and healthy at 91. It deserves that simple, nurturing gesture. If you've never tried it, just commit to doing it for 1 week. Wake up, boil some water, pick any natural herb you like, even just plain hot water works, and make that moment yours. It doesn't have to be perfect or complicated, just intentional. Because at the end of the day, real, lasting health isn't built by big, dramatic decisions or grand gestures. It's built by these small, consistent daily rituals that support your body, balance your mind, and give your days a sense of meaning and calm. Tea is simple, yes, but the positive transformation it can bring is immense. If you're still watching and think you might try this, type morning tea in the comments. All right, habit number 3. This one I take very seriously every single day, exercising my brain as if it were a muscle. Because you know what? That's exactly what it is. And just like any muscle, if you don't use it, it will get weaker over time. That might sound a bit dramatic, but it's the plain truth I've seen firsthand. What I notice most often as people get older is that they lose their independence not because their body gives out first, but because their mind slowly starts to shut down. It often begins with minor forgetfulness, struggling to stay organized, getting mixed up with dates and names. And before they or their families realize it, they can't make even simple decisions without someone else's help. And you know what truly scares me the most about that? That in so many of these cases, much of this decline could have been prevented with simple, consistent effort. But here's the really good news, and it's incredibly important. The simple fact that you are here right now, listening to me attentively, engaging with this content. that is already a fantastic way you are training and exercising your mind. It might feel like a small thing, just watching a video, but it's huge. Because in this very moment, you are absorbing new information, connecting ideas, reflecting on what I'm saying, and all of that activity fires up areas of your brain that are absolutely crucial for memory, for focus, for critical thinking, and even for regulating your mood. This right here, this is brain exercise in action. Just by being present, listening, and learning, you are actively strengthening yourself from the inside out. I've always believed that your brain thrives on challenges. And it's not just about doing crossword puzzles or playing complex board games every day, although those are great too. It's about stepping outside your usual mental routine. It's trying to learn a new recipe you've never made before. It's making an effort to understand a topic you've never been interested in. It's figuring out how to solve a small problem yourself without immediately asking for help. All of those things demand effort from your mind. Push it a little. And surprisingly, your brain actually enjoys that challenge. When you push your brain, when you challenge it in new ways, it responds. It reorganizes itself. It creates new connections and pathways, like building new roads in a city. And for anyone who wants to reach old age with their mental clarity intact, sharp and independent, that is absolutely essential. When I was about 75, I started noticing that my memory wasn't quite what it used to be. It was a bit of a shock, honestly. Some words would just disappear from my mind when I was talking, dates would get mixed up, and that's when I had this stark, clear realization. If I didn't actively take care of my mind, if I didn't give it the exercise it needed, I would eventually start depending on others for simple things. And I absolutely did not want that for myself. So I started putting more intentional effort into it, reading different kinds of books, writing things down more often, giving myself small challenges in my everyday life. And the more I did it, the clearer my mind became. It was like dusting off old furniture in a room you hadn't used in a while. Everything started to shine and feel accessible again inside my head. These days, it's just second nature to me. I try to keep things varied so my brain doesn't get bored. One day I'll spend time reading something challenging, another day I'll write in my journal. Sometimes I'll revisit old memories in great detail, trying to recall every single aspect. I like to organize ideas in my head without writing them down, remember stories, make mental lists. It keeps me sharp, alert, and feeling alive inside. And best of all, it gives me the confidence to keep making my own decisions, managing my own life, even with over 90 years on my shoulders. Your brain has this incredible, unique ability that your body doesn't quite have in the same way. It can keep growing and forming new connections, literally rewiring itself, even in old age. But to do that, it needs nourishment, and that's not just food, it's consistent stimulation and challenge. Without that consistent effort, it starts to slow down, starts to shut down in places. And that's what I try to avoid at all costs. I don't just want to live a long time. I want to live with a clear, active mind. I want to be able to look into my grandchild's eyes and remember everything we've done together, every single detail of their lives and mine. And yes, that takes effort, but let me tell you, it is worth every single second. So if you've noticed your mind feeling a bit slower, a bit foggy lately, please don't get discouraged. Just start small. Read one paragraph from a book or article every day. Learn one new word and try to use it. Try doing some simple math in your head without using a calculator. These tiny, consistent things are like lifting weights for your brain. It might feel hard or frustrating at first, but after a while, you'll feel it responding, getting stronger, sharper, and that truly changes everything about how you interact with the world. Let me know in the comments, what's one small brain exercise you plan to try starting today? Now, the fourth habit that completely changed how I'm experiencing aging and my physical well-being. This one seems incredibly obvious, but it's surprisingly not always followed. Movement. Moving my body every single day. You see, as we get older, one of the most common things you start hearing is, be careful. Don't push yourself too hard. It's better to take it easy. Resting is more important now. And without even realizing it, we start to accept this idea that an aging body isn't meant to move much anymore, that if something hurts, you should just stop, that if you feel tired, it's simply because you're old and that's how it is. But I've learned that kind of thinking is one of the biggest poisons for both your physical body and your spirit. I actually fell into that trap myself for a while. I started moving less, thinking I was protecting myself, preserving my body from wear and tear. The result, I became stiffer, slower in my movements, with constant aches and pain in my back, my hips, my shoulders. I genuinely felt older and less capable than I actually was. And the worst part was, I started feeling discouraged, losing my motivation to do anything. Until one day, completely on a whim, I decided to check out a Pilates class for seniors that was happening near my house. I went just to watch, out of curiosity, not planning to join, but I left signed up and you know what? I haven't stopped since. That was a real turning point for me. I realized my body still had so much potential, so much strength and flexibility hidden away. It just needed to be stimulated, to be moved consistently. It was tough in the beginning, of course. Tight muscles protested, stiff joints creaked, my balance was shaky. But I kept at it, showing up day after day, week after week, and with time my body started to loosen up. The ease of movement came back, and with it, the sheer joy of living in a body that felt capable again. I also started doing some simple yoga postures at home, nothing intense, all adapted for my age and ability. But it did wonders for my breathing, my sleep, even my mood felt lighter and more optimistic. Then something else happened, something I hadn't expected at all from an exercise class: friendships. In those classes, I met other people my age who had similar stories, facing similar challenges with their bodies. We laughed together, learned together, encouraged each other through the tough bits. It brought me a sense of belonging, of community, that I didn't even realize I was missing. Because yes, your body needs to move, but your heart and your spirit need to connect with others too. And exercise gave me both physical strength and genuine human connection. Now, I make sure to do some form of movement every single day. It might be a gentle walk around the block, some stretching in my living room, a short yoga session following a simple video on TV. The amount or intensity isn't what matters most. What truly matters is that I don't let my body sit idle for too long. Because when you stop moving your body consistently, it really does start to fade, to lose its function. But when you activate it, even just a little bit each day, it responds, it wakes up, it regenerates itself, and even more than that, moving your body is a powerful way of saying to yourself, I'm still here. I'm still a part of life. I still deserve to feel strong and capable. And that applies no matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're 60, 70, or 90. It is always the right time to reclaim the movement that gives your days energy and meaning. Because living without constant pain, with the ability to be independent, with flexibility in your body, that's not a luxury you have to earn. It's a right, a natural state, and it's something that is within reach for anyone who decides to start over right where they are. So, if you think you're too old, too stiff, or too tired for exercise, please think again. Because your body isn't asking for perfection or for you to be an athlete. It's just asking for your presence, for you to show up and move it a little. Start with something small, something you can manage. A short walk outside, a simple stretch while you're watching TV, maybe even just a little bit of dancing in your living room to your favorite music. And if you can, find a group class or a friend to move with, because your body gets stronger with movement and your spirit is renewed through community. If you're still with me and agree that movement is important for feeling alive, give this video a thumbs up. All right, now for the fifth habit I brought into my routine, and honestly, without exaggeration, this one has been the most transformative of all for me. It came from a completely unexpected source, an ancient ritual practiced by Buddhist monks for centuries, which is now being rediscovered and even studied by modern scientists. They call it the brainwave ritual for abundance. Sounds a bit like something out of a sci-fi movie at first, I know, or maybe too good to be true. But when I started practicing it myself, consistently, I finally understood why it has survived for centuries and why it's only now starting to gain the respect it truly deserves in the scientific community. Because the impact wasn't just on my mental state, feeling calmer or more focused. It affected my physical health, my energy levels, how I made decisions throughout the day, and yes, even my finances seemed to improve in noticeable ways. I stumbled upon this ritual while reading about longevity and the latest research in neuroscience. That's when I found a study talking about how certain brain wave frequencies, specifically the theta state, when activated early in the morning, can literally reorganize your mind, significantly reduce stress and anxiety, balance your emotions, and believe it or not, open up pathways for more focus, greater clarity, and even more prosperity and opportunity in your life. It was essentially what these monks had been doing for generations during their morning practice. A simple combination of specific sounds, mindful breathing, and focused intention, all done in just a few minutes, right at the very start of the day. I decided to try it out of sheer curiosity, thinking, well, what have I got to lose? And I have honestly never stopped since that first try. The practice itself is incredibly simple. Every morning, before any distractions creep in, before checking emails, news, or anything else, I put on my headphones and listen to a specific audio frequency that helps gently guide my brain into the theta state. While I'm listening, I sit or lie down quietly and focus my thoughts on three simple things for a few minutes. What I want to feel that day, like calm, energetic, joyful, what I want to attract into my life, could be opportunities, connections, solutions, and what I need to release or let go of, like worries, old frustrations, tension. It sounds simple, and it truly is, but the effects go incredibly deep into the core of your being. Within just a few days of consistent practice, I noticed my background anxiety, that low-level hum of worry I didn't even realize I was carrying, started to disappear. After a few weeks, I found myself making sharper, more intuitive decisions about things, big and small. And within a few months, my financial situation, which had been stable but not really growing much, started to become noticeably more abundant. Money wasn't just appearing out of nowhere, but opportunities just started appearing. Old clients who hadn't been in touch for years reached out with new projects. New ideas for how I could use my skills flowed effortlessly. Even my small investments seemed to yield better returns. I know some people might think this sounds a bit mystical or hard to believe, maybe even a little woo-woo, but the scientific research is actually there, backing it up. Studies from reputable institutions like Columbia and Harvard, published in respected scientific journals, are confirming that the brain, when activated at the right frequencies and combined with intention, genuinely changes how it perceives and interacts with the world around it. It literally changes your internal state, which impacts your external reality. And I have felt that firsthand in my own life, profoundly. My physical health also improved in subtle ways. My blood pressure became more stable. My sleep became deeper and more restful than it had been in years. My emotions felt more balanced and steady, less reactive. It was as if this simple ritual placed my mind and body in a state of both readiness to face the day and profound ease at the same time. And when I read that this mental mode is the same state achieved by monks during deep, powerful meditation, I truly understood the immense power I was tapping into. It wasn't just about relaxing. It was about aligning my body and mind with something much bigger, something that fosters well-being and opens doors to new possibilities. Today, if I had to choose between having my morning coffee or doing this ritual, I would choose the ritual every single time, without hesitation. Just 7 minutes that completely prepare my brain and my entire being for whatever the day brings. It has become a sacred, non-negotiable moment for me, and the most beautiful part is that anyone can do it, right away. It doesn't cost any money. You don't need any prior experience with meditation or anything similar, and you don't even need to follow a specific belief system. All it requires is your intention and a willingness to try something that could potentially shift the direction of your life in a profound way, just like it did for mine. If I am here today at 91 years old, with clarity, peace, independence, and a feeling of abundance in my life, I can tell you with absolute certainty that this habit played a crucial foundational role in getting me here and staying this way. It didn't just change my thoughts, it fundamentally changed my reality from the inside out. If you're curious about this brainwave ritual I mentioned, the one that made such a difference in my mental health, energy, and yes, even my finances, I'll put a link in the description below this video. Just click if you want to learn more about how it works and maybe even give it a try yourself. It costs nothing to learn the basics, and it could honestly change everything within you. If you're still listening and are ready for a shift, type "ready for abundance" in the comments. If there's one single thing I've truly learned over all these years, through all the ups and downs, it's that real, lasting health and well-being doesn't come from feeling pressured or guilty or from a sense of urgency to fix everything at once. Health comes from consistency. It comes from respecting your own unique pace and timing. A lot of people hear me talk about these 5 habits: the morning light, the tea ritual, exercising your brain, daily movement, and the brainwave practice, and immediately think, oh man, that sounds like a lot. There's no way I could ever do all of that. And you know what? That feeling is perfectly okay and totally normal. The goal here isn't to suddenly become a monk or an Olympic athlete or some kind of perfect guru overnight. Not at all. The idea is simply to plant *1 seed at a time, because nobody changes everything about their life instantaneously. But absolutely everyone, no matter their age or situation, can start something. The truth is, the most important thing you can do is just begin. It honestly doesn't matter where you start. Maybe your starting point is just adding that simple cup of morning tea. Maybe it's just committing to a short walk around the block a few times a week. Maybe it's just sitting in silence for 3 minutes before you go to bed. What matters most is creating a dedicated, consistent moment for yourself, a small daily ritual that says to your body and your mind, I see you. I'm here and I want to take care of you. And once that small act becomes a consistent habit, even just one, it starts to transform everything else, because your body feels it, it understands that you're paying attention and making an effort, and it responds in kind by working better for you. And you know what almost always happens when you try to change absolutely everything about your routine all at once? You get completely overwhelmed, your body and mind resist all the drastic new demands, you feel frustrated because it's too much, and then you feel like you've failed. You give up entirely, and you're right back where you started, maybe feeling even worse. That's exactly why I always advise people to start small, but start strong with that one small thing. It is so much better, so much more effective in the long run, to do one thing consistently well every single day than to try to do 10 things at once and completely quit after the first week. True health, the kind that lasts for decades and lets you feel vibrant at 91, is built like a solid house, brick by brick, one small, consistent piece at a time. In my own journey, I certainly didn't start out doing yoga, drinking tea, contemplating life, and walking in silence all at the same time. No, not at all. First, I changed how I woke up in the morning, just that one thing. Then over time, I made small adjustments to my diet. Much later down the road, I discovered Pilates and how much my body loved moving that way. Years after that, the brainwave ritual came into my life, and everything really started to fit together more seamlessly, supporting each other. One good habit naturally led to the next, creating a positive chain reaction. It was like a chain of good things connecting slowly but deeply. And you will notice this yourself, when one habit truly sticks and starts making a difference, it creates space, energy, and motivation for the next one to take root. When you start sleeping better because of the morning light, you wake up with more energy. With more energy, you naturally start making better choices about what you eat. When you eat better and move a little, your mind feels clearer and sharper. And when your mind is clear, you make better decisions about everything in your life, big and small. It's not magic. It's a natural, powerful cycle. And that cycle begins with one single choice. The simplest one you can make, the most accessible one for you right now, today. Another really important thing to remember, please. Don't compare yourself to anyone else you see, online or in person. Every single body has its own unique story, its own challenges, its own strengths. Every mind has its own rhythm and timing for change. What truly matters is that you look at your life today, right now, and honestly ask yourself, what is one small thing I can improve, just a little bit, starting today? That's it. Your health will genuinely thank you for making that effort. Your mind will respond positively, and your life will slowly but surely return to a greater state of balance, with more ease, more joy, and much, much more meaning as the years go by. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by all of this information, that's okay. Just take a deep breath. Pick one thing, just one habit that resonated with you the most, and start with that. Consistency in that one small habit will naturally bring you the rest over time, if and when you're ready. And before you even realize it, you'll look back and see how much your life has changed, for the better. Not because you tried to do everything at once and burned out, but because you simply started. And that, my friend, that willingness to start, is more than halfway there already. If you've made it this far with me, first of all, congratulations and thank you for listening. Because that alone shows you truly care about your well-being, that you want to live a longer, better life, and that you understand aging doesn't automatically have to mean decline, loneliness, or losing your independence. It can absolutely be a phase of incredible strength, of accumulated wisdom, and of profound clarity and peace. I'm not here speaking to you as a doctor or as some kind of perfect guru with all the answers. I am here as someone who has truly lived what I am sharing, who has felt the tangible difference these small, consistent habits can make in my own body, in my own mind, and in my own heart. Everything I've shared in this video comes directly from my own personal experience, from the last 91 years of living. Not from reading books or theories alone, but from years and years of actual practice, of trying things out, adjusting, and simply sticking with it consistently. And today, at 91, I can say with absolute conviction, it was worth every single effort, every single consistent day. I am still sharp, still independent, still healthy, and most importantly, still absolutely full of life and gratitude. And if that is possible for me, starting where I was, it is absolutely possible for you too, starting right where you are today. No matter your age, what truly matters is how willing you are to start taking dedicated, consistent care of yourself now. So if this video spoke to you, if something here resonated or made sense in your heart, please leave a like. That simple action helps this content reach more people who might really need to hear exactly this message right now, people who might be feeling discouraged about aging. And make sure you subscribe to the channel to keep getting more videos like this. No magical formulas, just honest truths and practical habits that actually work in real life over time. And please tell me in the comments section below, which of these habits resonated with you the most? Which one will you consider adding to your daily routine first, even just in a small way? Or maybe, which one is already a positive part of your life? I genuinely love reading your comments and connecting with you all. See you next time.